Guys, there's so much happening right now.
Things like CES, Minecraft 2, Switch 2.
We were going to get a freaking God of War live action game. And believe it or not, it looks like we're going to be getting a Halo game before Bloodborne Remastered.
What?
And the worst part, it's actually Miyazaki's fault.
What?
I couldn't believe it either. So if you want to learn more, stay tuned.
What is up, everybody?
Hello, hello.
Welcome to Digital Quest,
The Next Level Gaming Podcast.
where we dive into the world of gaming.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Mike.
And if you clicked on this video, it's because you know that there's a lot of shit happening right now in the gaming industry.
There is.
Let's start talking about it right now. Start us off. What's going on?
You know what? I feel like starting with some banter. You know, like, what have you been up to recently?
You know what? So I'm glad you asked, right? So I told myself I wouldn't buy any new games until I worked on my backlog.
You have a lot.
And I do have a lot. And now I do need to finish. I have a problem finishing. Anyway, look, so listen. So I got 3 new games. It's the Dark Souls trilogy. The European version. I think the American version is going for like several $100s, if I'm not mistaken. You're the game collector.
Well, because for some reason they stopped printing, I think, the American version, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So this, this little number I spent just $30 on, which is, for me, I think it's a bit of a steal. I got hooked on to buying this in light of the new Elden Ring Night Ring game. So I'm looking forward to eventually playing this.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing, if you start playing it, see you next year.
Pretty much.
It'll be a while.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
You know what? I'm actually good at Dark Souls. It's the ADD. I just got to finish the fucking game. That's it.
That's like 3 more to your hundreds of games that you need to finish. Get it together, man.
Meanwhile, this mofo bought the same thing. Okay.
What? Where? What did I buy?
Didn't you buy it? Or is it
I did not. I have it in my Amazon cart. Okay, that's a different story.
I'm a bad influence and he likes it. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I got going on. What about you, man?
Well, yeah, that's cool. I mean, other than that, like, just to end on that note, you mentioned, because I was curious about buying the European version because I wasn't sure if it was going to be region locked, because a lot of these games nowadays like won't allow you to play the games because I guess certain content that was released under those servers you wouldn't be able to access because we're in America, right? Right.
So the last console that was truly generation locked was the PS3/Xbox era. So after that, PS4, Xbox One, right, or Series X, and PS5, there's no such thing as region lock. So you could play the game that is on the base disc. Now, if the game requires a download, like
then
nowadays you have the disc, but you still need to do an additional download, or if you need to buy DLC, you're screwed. You're SOL. The good thing about this Dark Souls trilogy, however, is that it comes with all the DLC ever, and there's no new content whatsoever, other than the graphical and performance upgrades. So I have the complete package here. So that's why I was comfortable.
So you can still play those games. If you're able to find the games that actually have all the content built into the disc, and if it's a European version, so you're saying that you can just play it on your PS4.
Yeah, just play it on the PS4. Just pop it right in.
Well,
the PS5,
that makes that's why I got enticed whenever you said that was the case, and that's why I'm gonna buy it soon. So
you definitely need to. I mean,
dude, I love Dark Souls.
Dark
Souls 1.
It's pretty cool, right?
It's great. We talked about it a little bit off screen.
We don't have to go back. We don't have to go back on there. But I'm excited to eventually play it, probably a year from now. But I don't know. With Night Ring coming out, I do want to finish Elden Ring finally. I'm almost there. I told you off screen where I'm at. I'm pretty close to the end, right?
Yeah. I mean, the last thing that you said, the world was already all going crazy. Yeah, it's on fire. So that's pretty much there.
So I want to finish it. I'm not going to do New Game Plus. I'm going to go straight to probably Demon Souls, work through this, and then hopefully be far enough along to where I can go into Night Ring and call myself a Miyazaki Soulsborne veteran. Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah, but enough about me. What about you, man?
I've been working on my music lately. I've been putting out all my content. So people who don't know, like I arrange video game music on guitar.
He's really good. He's really good.
Well, I'm trying, and so I've learned from the best, from my guitar teacher. So his name's Sam Griffin. But so I've been arranging all these songs. Like right now, I've already put out Resident Evil. I put out a song from Kingdom Hearts and also Super Mario 64. So now I'm starting to get caught up. So the next songs that I'm coming out with, if anybody's interested, I'm going to be coming out with an Adventure Time song and also another Super Mario 64 song.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what I've been up to, just trying to get all that
recorded. A little bit of love
recorded.
and praise here. The Resident Evil one, that's can I spoil what the song is? Or
yeah. I mean, it's already on YouTube. People,
yeah. So it's already on YouTube, and if you want, maybe we could put a link somewhere here or here. I don't know.
Here.
It'll be here, or at least in the description if you want. It's the Code Veronica.
Ashford Music Box.
Ashford Music. That's literally the name, right?
Yeah.
The Ashford Music Box. The Queen is dead.
Yeah.
I love it, but I'm not music literate. The guitar that you use, or the sound, or the tuning, I don't know what it is, but it reminds me like of The Last of Us. I feel like it's something.
Oh yeah, like
I feel like it's something that Ellie could play in The Last of Us. But it feels like it belongs in Resident Evil 4. If that makes any sense to y'all, just click. If the link is here, click on it. Give him love and support. We're all about love and support here. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Have you seen some of those friggin' on The Last of Us Part 2 where she's playing the guitar?
Yeah.
Have you seen some of those covers that people do? Like fucking stupid.
Yeah, the freaking Metallica, Johnny Cash,
Her fingers are all
I hurt myself today.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's freaking, it's crazy. But
yeah, I mean,
you should do it. I mean, if you still have Last of Us 2, you should try it out. I think that'd be kind of cool. But anyway,
yeah. Next episode's coming up for my channel. Yeah, that'll be some Last of Us 2 stuff.
That'd be pretty cool. But check out his channel. Give him love and support. It looks like a lot of fun.
Thank you.
And it looks like you're having a lot of fun doing it. That's the most important part.
It's awesome, man. I love it, and the reason why I'm doing it is also it's half and half, right? It's like one for me, mostly for me, and then a lot. The second half is like for the kids, like for my family to have something to remember me by, because I've always wanted to leave something behind as far as like my legacy, I guess, if you want to call it.
Yeah, of course.
But and then also I want to be like an example to show them, like, hey, this is what you have the potential to do, and then as long as you put your mind to it, you can do stuff. And so that's kind of like where I'm coming from.
Nice. It's very nice. I like it, and you also put your own little twist. So so far I've seen nothing but love and support, but also it's your own cover. It's your own little twist. It's very much you paying homage to these great songs that's
so
come
good.
before. So it's a lot of it. I've enjoyed what I've heard.
Yeah, gotten a lot of good feedback, so I can't really. I'm really grateful for all that. But enough about me. Let's get to the what this episode's all about. We are talking about gaming news.
We're talking about gaming news. Some explosive, some things that have kind of gone like under the radar, but I think it's still explosive. Let's kind of start with what do you got for us right now, Mike?
So we have CES. If people who aren't aware of what this is, CES is the Consumer Electronics Show. If I remember correctly, what that acronym stands for. It is a conference where they basically announce all the coolest technology that's going to be coming out in the year or in the next year. And so you'll find like the latest gaming laptops. You'll have like the next level gaming fridges, that are coming. Refrigerators.
Is that actually a thing?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not just gaming related. It's actually like legitly everything.
Like
dude, there are people playing Doom on their refrigerators.
No, but I was gonna say. Is there actually such thing as a gaming refrigerator? Sorry to go into.
Not now. I mean, you got the Xbox One cooler box, but I mean that's not really gaming. But I'm talking about things that have like a tablet on it.
Yeah.
If it has a tablet and it's Android related, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I saw someone made Doom playable on a PDF, so it's possible.
Dude, that is sick.
That is
on an
cool.
EKG machine. Have you ever seen that on an EKG? Well,
I've seen an EKG machine, but like I'm trying to imagine it. I'm like, how? I know someone went as far as to say that they made Doom playable on a potato. It probably with like electrodes or some shit. But
that's science. That's science for you.
That's pretty cool. But anyway, okay. So technology, we got technology, and we get at CES. So tell us about it.
We in that conference they announced a lot of good stuff, which we. So as far as gaming related, the things that I took away from it is obviously they finally announced the new graphics cards that were coming out for the computers, which is like the NVIDIA 5000 series, the 5K. And because we were recently on the 4K, and I don't know how much of a boost it's going to put. They did announce like this third person game to showcase what the graphics cards can do.
Okay.
But I mean, dude, like the 4000 series already look good because ray tracing has been like and people can put in the comments on what else I may have left out, but I've been kind of out of the loop with like the PC world. Yeah. But ray tracing to me was like the next level of what was happening because all the particle effects and all the shine on everything.
Yeah, it already looks so lifelike.
Yeah. And so what the 5K is bringing, I needed to do a little bit more research into, but that's just what I've heard. And I was wondering when it was going to come out. And then when they first announced it, I mean, obviously it's going to be a graphical improvement on a lot of things, but there's always this one specific thing that they really hone in on that's going to like really accelerate like the graphics world.
It kind of begs the question, doesn't it? Like 4K with ray tracing, it already looks pretty lifelike. You got the uncanny valley, and you just know that there's some minor differences. That's how you know it's animated and not real life, right? But how much closer do you think we can get to? You could like, it looks so lifelike. It's 5K.
Dude. Yeah,
I feel like we have to be reaching some sort of limit, right? Some sort of like unpassable limit.
Well, one day, like this is where I foresee things going. Obviously, virtual reality is going to be the future, right? It's just not.
I believe that. Yeah.
You ever seen Sword Art Online?
Yes.
Okay, so exactly that's what things are going to turn out to be. That's what they're actually working on right now. They're trying to work on how they can put you in this state of sleep, so that where your conscience can go into a video game. Like
that's kind of cool.
That is like the next level stuff. That's kind of
cool.
And
that's pretty sick.
That's I'm interested to see, but I'm at the same time scared because I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. Like the biggest thing that I've always wanted to do is get like people to, and they have these too, but we just don't have them here. But they have a big warehouse where there's a layout for like walls, all this stuff put together.
Right.
And when you put on the VR headset, you're actually in the warehouse, the built like level.
Right.
And then you can actually, if you want to go touch the walls, you can touch the walls and look at, and everything that you're doing is there.
So it's like it's like augmented reality, but in the real world, and it just kind of like, dude, they complement each other. You literally cannot get any closer unless you do what you said, where you literally dream in the game world. You know? That's pretty sick.
And so that's the graphics cards, right? Like that's to kind of close out on the graphics piece. And then they also announced these portable handheld gaming devices, which is if anybody's familiar with them, their Asus came out with their ROG Ally, which is basically a Steam Deck. All these versions of what I'm about to name are Steam Deck, kind of relatable,
right?
And what the Steam Deck is obviously like a handheld gaming device as well.
Is it fair to call them competitors? Like, competitors to Steam Deck?
For sure.
I know that once a certain console, handheld console, became widely available, then you got the race to make like Steam and like PC games handheld available. And then once that benchmark was passed, then you started seeing all these competitors, if you will. And I remember Asus, Asus being an Ally. I remember hearing them in the background, but it sounds like those competitors they're also getting more upgrades, or do you know what exactly is being promoted?
Yeah, I mean, each of them have their own like specific set of things that they have to stand out by.
Yeah.
So the Steam Deck was the first one to really kind of I would say perfect it. I mean, but
or at least it's a benchmark. It's the
only flaw really that I see out of it is the battery, because the battery only lasts like 2 to 4 hours.
I hate it. Yeah.
I mean, in reality, if you have it plugged into something, and so these devices are basically like mobile gaming laptops.
Yeah.
Or gaming PCs.
Yeah.
And you can literally put them on. It's like a switch. Like you dock it and then you put it on your TV, and then there you go. You got your PC on the go.
Right. Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, they're just like increasing with all the functionality and technology that they're putting in these things.
And as I should hope so, right? Like me, I love PS5. I'm a PS5, fanboy, but I also got Xbox and Nintendo. But there's just something so magical about taking your gaming experience on the go. So if that's where the future of gaming is going, and we're promoting that and we're getting upgrades on it, I'm happy. I'm good. I love that. And
because I have a big Steam library, and unfortunately, I think I've said in the previous episode, like I took apart my my main gaming rig, my PC, and so like I haven't been playing PC gaming because of life.
Right.
And
life
so
happens. Yeah.
That kind of thing would pretty much solve whatever I've been wanting to do.
Just right there. That's it. Yeah. Just plug it into a wall because the shitty battery. But otherwise, it's a genuine computer gaming experience in the palm of your hands.
Yeah. And so that's basically what these guys are doing. So there's Asus that's coming out with their next level series, and then you got Lenovo, who's also in the game, which is coming out with their what is it called? The Legion Go series.
Okay.
So Legion Go, and then Legion Go S, which the Legion Go has like these detachable, almost exactly like the Switch. You take off the Joy-Cons and you play with them.
Okay.
And so like the cool thing about those, like they actually function as a mouse too when you move it like this.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like
which
that.
we'll get into for the Switch 2, because the Switch 2 has some things up their sleeve.
I was going to say, just before, I want to be very careful to not get into that just yet, because that's its own can of worms, right? It's you mentioned like it's the which one is it that has the Joy-Cons?
That's the Lenovo Go. Go.
You know how Nintendo is very litigious about like, hey, it's Pal World. It looks like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. There's these people selling modded Switches. Don't do that. They go after them legal. I'm surprised that I've not heard of, unless you know of something. I'm surprised that Nintendo hasn't gone after him for like, hey, that's a little too close to our copyright. Stop doing that.
I don't know if necessarily that is a patent though. Or because it would have to be a patent. A patent is what. Right. Would be the right term for it. And
but you've never seen that before Nintendo. I have to assume that Nintendo has some sort of exclusivity on that.
So I think if I remember correctly, they don't slide in. I think they break out. So see, like
I like it.
There's cutting corners.
Loophole.
That's
the attorney in me loves that. Yeah.
So I mean, that's just what I've seen with the console, and that may be like the way that they kind of steer towards not getting sued because they actually tweak that one little thing.
Yeah, you don't slide them, you break them off.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Nintendo. Stop it. That's cool. That's absolutely cool.
So I'm actually thinking about getting one, man. Like, because they look very interesting. And I used to have a Steam Deck, but the Steam Deck at the time was kind of. It was when it first came out, and they were working through a lot of its kinks. I mean, even though Steam OS is like really solid, but the hardware was kind of. It was okay.
Right.
But yeah, so they announced those at the CES, and also, let's see, what was it? What else did they announce? I think that was the main stuff.
Or at least the thing that stood out to you the most. I mean, at the very least, right?
Yeah, because aside from that, they have they did come out with gaming chairs that actually have cooling and heating fans in them, which is freaking nuts.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty sick. For those long hours of intense gaming.
Yeah. And there was, on the VR topic, right?
Go ahead.
They finally started coming out with these things, this whole approach that I was waiting for, and it's haptic feedback. So they're expanding on the haptic feedback world. So you know how like instead of now, it all started with Rumble.
Right.
That was haptic feedback. And then PS5 upped the game and now made it more
haptic.
Adaptive triggers.
Right.
Oh, and Xbox did their adaptive triggers, but PS5 did it way better. But now they have these vests that you can wear. It's like a suit. And,
that's pretty sick.
And like everything, like if someone were to hit you in the arm, you could feel it.
You can feel it.
Dude, I'm like,
I remember.
That would probably hurt if I got my ass whooped in like freaking Sifu or something.
Dude, oh my God. Imagine dude, Dark Souls, just perpetually dying.
Yeah.
I remember it was like something like late in high school or like college where I saw that this company, they wanted to do a thing where like, if you play a shooter or something that involves blood loss, somehow it would connect through like microneedles to like your hands.
No.
Yeah, microneedles.
Stop shooting me.
Dude.
That's kind of
the first part of me
dude.
was like, but also that's kind of rad.
Dude, that's
kind of rad.
That's like extreme.
So you know that guy who did like I told you about it off screen. You got that guy who did the entire Soulsborne series from Demon Souls all the way to even Kingsfield.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't mind that.
Sorry. Kingsfield all the way to Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree without getting hit a single time. Imagine someone trying to do that, and he's like, you know what? I just don't want to die, but I can get hit. Imagine doing that, and you have like these things that sucks your blood from the controllers. Man,
I don't know if you that tickles your fancy, man. I don't know. You could do that.
No, I'm not going to do it, but I'd like to see someone else. Like I would watch people.
I'd watch people die.
I would.
That's basically what you're saying. I'd watch people die. You are a cruel man, sir. Come on.
But but I'm all. Point is, I'm certainly all for blurring the line between reality and the gaming experience and bringing the gaming experience in there.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, me coming from playing like the Quest 2 and stuff like that, and how sick I get from motion sickness on that.
Oh yeah,
dude, it's brutal, man. Because I love Resident Evil 4 and also Half-Life Alyx on the dude. And I've been wanting to play the new Batman game. I literally just want to freaking buy a new Quest just so I can play the new Batman game.
Yeah.
And because people have been saying it's really good, but I'm like, I'm probably gonna get sick as hell. And I'm gonna freaking
yeah, no. Let me know if you do though. They got the new Alien game on there.
I do want to play that.
Yeah, I heard it's cool, and it's supposed to be like a spiritual sequel to Isolation, but you have a gun this time.
Yeah, I think honestly, what would make it better would be because I hate the movement because I have small rooms, and the time that I was playing it, you have two modes of playing. You either have like where you use the stick to kind of point and then drop you somewhere.
Yes, yeah.
That shit makes me sick. But if I were to play on like those platforms that were able to move by themselves, and that way you're moving in place, that would totally solve the problem because now my brain connects like, oh, I am moving.
For me, it's completely vice versa.
You don't think?
It's for me, it's completely vice versa. When I played Resident Evil 4 the first time on the Quest, sorry, we're going a little bit of a tangent, but when I did that, and I would move around, or move the stick to move your character, I became nauseous pretty quickly. Instead, when I did it draws a line and it tells you where do you wish to go, and then you kind of teleport there. That made it much more palatable. Yeah, because you're not dealing with the whole like movement. It's just teleport, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So it's more staticky, but hey, to each their own.
Yeah. But
anywho,
yeah. So I'm excited to see how those things turn out. But that was CES. I mean, the takeaways from there, and so the next topic that I have is Minecraft 2 apparently canceled. And this came out just a couple of weeks ago, or sorry, not weeks, a couple of days ago. After almost like shortly after Notch, which was the creator of Minecraft, right. Apparently announced that there was going to be a successor to Minecraft 2, or basically said that he was going to make Minecraft 2.
Right.
But it's kind of weird because now Minecraft is owned by Xbox.
Right.
And Mojang is no longer his company because he kind of took the money, went to go make a new company, and I forgot what they're called. But he's working on new games, and
but he's still credited as the creator.
Oh yeah, of course,
the mastermind.
Yeah, and then so the people have been wanting to have another Minecraft, but the thing is, like where he stands, which is a very valid stance, and he said that he just doesn't want to make a Minecraft 2 because it's kind of hard to follow up on what Minecraft is.
I was gonna say, like, can you, like, you've played Minecraft a whole lot more than I have, and I've played a lot in my time, but what can you possibly do to improve Minecraft as better graphics? But the blocky, like 8-bit-ish.
There's only so much you could do. It's kind of like if you think of Rocket League, Rocket League, they've had seasons and they have all the opportunities to make a part 2.
Right.
But how would they've already perfected that game. Like,
there's a formula, it's tried and true. People keep on coming back. New people still keep on coming in. What else do you need? And now there's a feature-length movie coming out,
Yeah, we're going back to the Minecraft. But yeah, I don't think there's not much more you can really do to improve without having to touch like the graphics or the way the game is played, because the game is already so adaptable to a lot of things.
Right.
And so that's why he was like, I'm not going to make a Minecraft 2, or even I was thinking about doing a spiritual successor, but that would be it. Like, but at that point, it would be more of a nostalgia trip.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's fair. I mean,
from your experience as like a Minecraft player, is there anything that you would like to see that could potentially be addressed in a sequel?
Well, I played Minecraft. It's been years since I played, and so in that time they have added so much stuff to the game.
Right. So they're still adding stuff.
Yeah,
like,
and then there's
keep doing that.
There's mods. That's a whole nother world of its own. Adding mods, and so but from the core experience on the things that they've added, they've just The last time I jumped in, I'm like, oh my God, this is not even the same game that I remember playing.
Right.
Like,
so
totally
what's
different.
The point of slapping a 2 on it and risk like dividing your player base? Just you have perfection, or what the community in a sense deems perfect. Any opportunity to improve it just invites more room for failure. So just keep it as is. I mean,
because it's kind of like, you'll just be satisfying the people that want it, but is it going to be a smart move?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
How many people want that really? I mean, so to speak.
Because it could go both ways. Like if they make it and then people don't like it, now it taints the vision of Minecraft. But if it's kind of like when you let people settle in with this particular something, and then what's one game like Metal Gear Solid, right? Like we've been waiting for a Metal Gear Solid, but we all know how that's Konami and Kojima, right?
Yeah, the whole politics of it. Yeah.
But if there was like an unresolved storyline, right, and it was just been like, we need another game,
and there is, but anyway.
So it's like, but if you leave it alone, then it becomes a legend where it's like,
yes,
what could have been, and it's always like a good outlook on the series, because it's like it's already been a staple of something. People have a good impression of it, but like
that's fair.
Example, like Attack on Titan, right? People have mixed reviews about how it ended, right? Because it took forever for them to end the story.
Right.
But imagine if they never ended it. Then it would have been left at like, man, this is such a good show. And then the way that it ended, people were pissed off about it. Now they look at it, man, I don't know about Attack on Titan anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of that thing.
Yeah,
but I still love it. But it's just, you got that kind of the seesawing going on where.
Right. You get it. Yeah. Yeah. You also don't want to like overstay your welcome. So it's like find a good place to dip out. Yeah.
So, I mean, I agree with him, but I still want to go back into Minecraft. Not a Minecraft 2. I don't really care for a Minecraft 2 because I think it's good where it's at right now. And just leave it that way. But,
absolutely.
But yes.
So when they say Minecraft 2 canceled, you're not really bawling. You're like, no, why?
No. I mean, there are probably some people who are going to be like that. A lot of kids probably wouldn't understand as much as the older folks that grew up with the game.
Yeah.
Because it is now a more kid-friendly game, and they also use it for school. It's actually an educational platform where people can teach people how to code. And that's really one of the main reasons that they teach people with. You know what blows my mind? I heard that there's like a server or a map. Forgive my lingo. Maybe you can correct it. But it's like a massive library. It's like the new library of Alexandria, where it's like it's apparently people in China and like North Korea have limited access to Minecraft. But in this library are actual documents and text and like newspapers, like going from like olden times all the way to recent times, that they can read and have access to, unfettered. That's interesting. I've never heard that one.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we could have like a pop-up here or something right here. But I saw the map itself and some like Let's Plays, if you will, going through this library. And I'm like, this is a legitimately, from a humanitarian standpoint, a great thing to do. And it's in this freaking, from my point of view, like a kid's game, Minecraft. That just blows my mind.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Honestly.
That's why it's so flexible as a game. Some people probably might not like it because of what it's turned out to be, but I appreciate it. I mean, there's so much things you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Just so much potential. Yeah. We don't need it to.
Yeah, we don't need it to.
Get out of here.
So get out of here. And for the fun, the really fun nugget of this episode is
turning up the heat a little bit.
Yeah. So Switch 2, they finally announced Switch 2 after.
Finally.
Was it 2016? Or it was even probably before that. I don't know. I feel like
there's always been whispers and hints of it, which have been escalating into more like, I think there was this leaker called Nate the Hate, who said that, hey, January 16th, they're going to announce it. What? The Switch 2. Sure enough, January 16th comes around.
I'm wondering if they probably didn't, well, because maybe you can understand this. So they actually had a leak. They've been having so many leaks.
There's been a shit ton of leaks. This is the most leaked console ever.
The most leaked console, yeah. Everybody's like, dude. But there was at CES, there was a guy who printed the
specs,
the spec of the Switch 2.
I heard about that. Now that,
So right after that, the Nintendo's lawyers went after him, and they went to go talk with him, and then right after that, Nintendo announced that they were pretty upset about it.
Yeah.
Or an insider or somebody who knew Nintendo said that they were pretty pissed.
Yeah.
So then shortly after, they announced the Switch 2. So I'm wondering if it was like, well, now the cat's out of the bag. Now we got to announce it.
That's weird. I heard two schools of thought. Like, one is that there's been so many leaks, just leak it already, including that. But the other one is also that Nintendo, it's also kind of a cultural thing. Obviously, Nintendo is a Japanese company. When they set a date, they stick to it. So it's kind of, if they were to fast forward the announcement date, it would be very uncharacteristic of them. But it does kind of make sense with how many leaks have come out. Like, we knew the specs before Nintendo even said anything. But I'm guessing that makes a lot of sense, especially if the specs are just now running around in the internet.
Yeah. So some of the things, if you hadn't watched the video, they have it out now on the Nintendo YouTube, and we can probably pop it up a little bit here.
Definitely check it out. As a person who is not like, I play Nintendo, but as not the biggest Nintendo fan, I'm actually excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I think at this point, I'm anything Nintendo comes out with, I'm gonna be like on it, just because that was one of my first systems. I think that started off on Sega. No. I started off on the actual first Nintendo. Then I went to Sega, and then I was Nintendo after that. I'm a Nintendo fanboy, regardless, because I love what they put out, and they're always consistent. Even though they haven't come out with any new IPs in the longest time, they just stuck to the same old characters. You know, I mean, but
it's a guaranteed fun time, and that's the thing. It's very co-op, split screen.
But you think about it though, it's kind of it's interesting, right? So, as many iterations of Mario that they have come out with, it doesn't even matter. Like, they can announce Super Mario Brothers 5, 10, 11.
It doesn't get old.
Every game somehow
it doesn't get old.
It just captivates people because people are already so latched on to the Mario character.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't matter. Anything with Mario in it, they know it's going to be, oh, my kids would be able to play this, or I'll be able to play this and have a good time.
Name any other character or franchise where the people are just like, yep, keep going. Keep going.
It's not like oh, Gears of War 10. Oh, or
just stop it already.
That's not for my kids. Okay, that's cool. I like this, and maybe I don't like that.
Yeah, so Mario's just like
all around.
It just at the very least you're content. No one's upset. Like, stop it. No, it's just yay.
Yeah,
a new Mario game.
Cool.
Yay, cool.
New Zelda. All right.
Yeah.
And
so, you said you were going to pull up the
I got the specs right here just to be accurate a little bit.
He's got it. The sacred texts. The sacred text.
So the thing that's okay. So the CPU and the GPU are going to be like this custom NVIDIA that's going to be resembling how on par with the PS4 and the Xbox One.
So translate that for me. Is that like processing power? Is that graphics? What is that? Okay.
So basically, it's going to be powerful enough to be like the PS4 and Xbox One on the go.
That's not too bad.
I know
it's the previous console, but it's like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't understand why Nintendo is so behind with the graphics, area.
Yeah.
Why? Like, are they just focused on
take your litigation attorney money and put it into getting your shit up to par?
It's maybe it feels like they don't want to because they don't want to then they won't make something different than a PS5 and a Xbox Series X. Right?
I mean, I guess to an extent. I don't.
How much more realistic can Mario get without looking pretty weird?
That's a fair point. It's like how much, you don't need Mario running in 5K ray tracing to be Mario. But the thing about Switch, though, is that's when Nintendo kind of opened the doors to third-party other games that are most certainly on Steam, PlayStation, and
like
Xbox. Witcher. So let me tell you what, just real quick. This is your spotlight, but let me take it for a bit. The Witcher 3, I started playing it. Everyone, their mother says play The Witcher 3. I started playing it on the Switch. Already, it's one of my favorite games of all time. But the graphics, guys, look like dog shit.
It's bad.
It looks like dog shit. CD Projekt Red. I don't know if it was you or Nintendo, but get your shit together.
That's the friggin' Nintendo's hardware.
That makes absolute sense. So Nintendo, CD, you're cool. I love you. CD, I love you. You've done nothing wrong. I love it. It's already one of my favorite games of all time, but the graphics are abysmal. That's why I'm excited for Nintendo Switch 2, because I feel like I believe Witcher 3 came out first on Xbox, right? And PlayStation 4.
I can finally get that 29 frames per second.
Yeah. This is the native
that one frame. You need that one frame just to make it a playable game. And then
I am going to bring it over.
They are not.
I'm going to bring it over, or if it's on the screen right now, I'm gonna show it to you, and you're going to be like, that's
totally.
poo-poo.
No, I do. I understand. Like I've seen it.
It's poo poo. I'm like, I would love, and the thing I love for the Switch 2 is that all of my Switch purchases are backwards compatible, downloads and cartridge wise, so I can just carry it on over onto the Switch 2.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm excited.
Yeah, so that's basically what it's going to be. It's going to be resembling the PS4 and Xbox One, and obviously the storage is going to be controlled by an SD card on there. So that doesn't really matter too much.
Nothing new there. Yeah.
It's going to have, just for the tech nerds out there, the RAM is going to be rumored to be like 12 gigs, which is kind of like the standard nowadays. It used to be like 8, but now it's like 12.
I think like my gaming computer. I think my gaming computer has like 12 gigs. That's kind of like the baseline.
Yeah. 16 is kind of like the standard now, like the normal. If you have 32, 64, then that's more of like advanced shit. But the screen size is going to be an improvement, somewhat. It's going to be 8 inches, which is good. I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, if anybody's seen like the Lenovo Legions, like the handhelds we were just talking about earlier, they have one version that's like an 8-inch. And so pretty big real estate on there. But the one thing that freaking gets me, dude, like why, like the bezels are so thick. Yeah. I'm like, how do they not, how far are we into the future? You can't even make the bezels like up to the freaking console. Yeah. Pisses me off. God damn it, dude. Like, it's not hard. Just freaking.
What's that episode from Jake and Josh? Whoa, take it easy, man. Nintendo, their lawyers are already like a terroristic threat. This man.
Whoa, they just barged in. I'm like, yeah, get your shit together.
Yeah,
no, but like, I just don't understand. Like, why does, maybe it's to save cost, or maybe there's a reason why the bezels have to be so thick, but I don't know. It's a freaking LCD screen, or At least it might be an OLED screen. I'll be fine with that.
Right.
If it's an OLED screen, then fine.
Is there any indication that it is?
It better be, because everybody's fucking OLED.
It's like, no, but it better fucking be.
Yeah, it better be. Come on, like everybody and their mom is on OLED
Nintendo,
right now.
like,
dude, how it wouldn't
Nintendo, your games are still $59. Like your baseline is like $59.
Yeah.
Come on.
It would not shock me if they were like LCD screen, and they're gonna that way later on they can come out with a different revision of saying like, oh, the Switch 2 OLED
Pro.
Yeah, stretching out that sweet green.
Yeah, boy.
Bastards. But the cool thing that the next part is the Joy-Cons. So right now you have them where you slide into this rail, right? But from the video, they actually are now magnetic, where you bring them together and then they attach the. They better be some strong ass magnets, because I was thinking about it after the fact, and because there are times whenever I've gotten intense gaming sessions on my Switch where like if I was playing like let's say Hades, and if I was trying to like. I get really kind of exaggerative with my movements sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how strong those magnets are, because what if you were to be like, like on accident, like there has to be some sort of way, like
something to
yeah.
securely. Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to work, because if you're like mid game and you're like,
oh
and
no,
then it drops like, oh, where's my Switch? I gotta go grab my Switch.
That would be very unfortunate. We don't want that, Nintendo. You hear me?
Yeah.
I'm See
sure.
to it.
Yeah. But I mean, I have full faith in them, because I've actually bought some magnets that for the Warhammer stuff. So off topic, but like these magnets, they're called rare earth magnets.
I've seen those.
Dude,
you drill them in. Yeah,
they're like this small, and they're fucking
super strong. Super strong.
So I'm wondering if they were utilizing that in their technology. That way, whenever it's attached, it's kind of hard for you to like take it apart.
It takes a lot of.
I love science, because there are certain magnets where you can't pull them apart a certain way. Like you can't pull them out ways, but
if you do it at a certain
yeah, dude. So
that'd be interesting.
Full faith, but I don't know. I'm nerding out on magnets over here. But yeah, that's the that's the Joy-Cons, and I have full faith in that. But the bigger thing that people have been asking for is the actual joysticks themselves and buttons. Yeah. And well, mainly the sticks, because nowadays they've had this type of, so there's stick drift, right? What
fucking horrible
stick drift is basically whenever you're it's kind of what it implies, like if you're not even moving, your character kind of moves, right?
It kind of on its own, yeah.
So like it's like there's something wrong with the actual mechanism inside the switch, or sorry, the
Joy-Con, the Joy-Con
stick, yeah. And what this the new technology that's been out is called Hall Effect switches, or Hall Effect joysticks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Hall Effect is considered a company. I just hear it a lot everywhere, right?
Okay.
And I've just learned to call it Hall Effect. I haven't done so much research into it. But anyways, they solved the stick drift area, and because they do something so unique where they indefinitely prevents stick drifting.
That's cool.
And
is it more of a software thing or more of like a hardware thing?
No, it's a hardware thing.
It's a hardware thing.
Yeah.
I did see, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, so you have the obviously the thing where you put the thumbs, the stick that goes down into the device, but then I saw like a little, like a washer or something, like it's blue and red respectively, and it looks like it limits the movement.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the orange color, right? Like the little on the video.
Yes. So it was something with color, and it looks like it limits to me, when I saw it, the first thing I thought was, oh, hey, that would prevent or at least severely hamper stick drift.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's part of it or maybe that's just ancillary to it. I don't know.
No, I mean, it might be just like an aesthetic thing too, but
it very well could be.
Yeah, it might be part of the actual stick mechanism itself too.
That'd be kind of cool.
Because when you open a stick, I mean, you obviously have the top part, which is like the dome on the stick. And then that's literally a piece that sits on this like little sensor where whenever you move it on the X and the Y and the Z, or the XY axis, that it knows how to read all those things.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah,
that's pretty sick.
But I'm sure that somewhere in the middle of all that, the Hall Effect solves that in a specific way. Yeah. But yeah, people have been asking for that because it's been notorious for having bad sticks on
pretty bad.
The Joy-Cons.
And playing Witcher, you're walking, you're trying to get to Roach, and then you just, I'm like, no,
now stop it
that way, stop it. No, it gets pretty annoying pretty quickly.
Yeah. So that's something I'm hoping that they fix, and then also the Yes, they have this sensor on top, which I'm curious to understand. After you kind of pause the video and look at certain things in the video, there's like this little black sensor on the top of the console where it looks like an IR sensor, but which is infrared for shooting into like a screen or something. But it actually, people were saying it might be an ambient light detection sensor. So if you're like, it'll the screen brightness of your console will adapt to your environment. So like if you're in a low light, it's going to brighten up the screen. If you're in a light, a very bright place, then it's going to dim your screen.
Hopefully you could shut that off.
You can.
Because there's something like my Switch is always set to auto brightness, and it's always so like dim. But then when I turn it off, it goes like bright. It's like, okay, I need this, especially if I'm doing.
Because it reverts back to what it was as previously.
Gotcha.
So you just got to go and manually set it. But yeah, there's that. And then also the one thing in the video that they show is like the Joy-Cons, as you detach them, they're kind of like gliding on the floor.
I saw that, yeah.
So they are actually going to act, if you go and look carefully, they look like they have mouse sensors. Like
a keyboard and mouse. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So now they're jumping on that, and I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. Because I was wondering, I'm like, okay, Nintendo is very good at coming out with something innovative. Like, what is their innovative piece?
Yeah.
If I had to say, it would probably be this, like the mouse now coming in.
That's pretty sick.
So I'm curious to see how that's going to play a role into it, but nobody really knows. The day after my birthday, they're going to, April 2nd, they're going to have this event all over the world in different areas. I don't know if it's at the same time, but they're going to start. That's going to be that is their showcase, their worldwide broadcast of their event about what the Switch 2 is going to be about, and more in detail.
Some more detail. This was just a teaser. What we got was just a teaser.
So I bet you anything, they're probably going to come out with this in Q4 of the year.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if it was Q3, like right after, like how Apple does it. Like, next week it's coming out.
Sick. That would be absolutely
pre-ordered right away,
honestly.
But yeah, so I'm kind of curious to see how that works. But some of the things that I'm hoping to see from that next video is the online experience. The online has been such trash. Yeah,
I saw that if you want to talk or do like a group chat, whatever, you have to download like an app, right, to talk.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't understand why they took that approach, because PS5 and Xbox nailed it and they perfected it.
They nailed it, and then they even got Discord just in case, like, hey, if you want to talk to people on computer, why not just do that?
I wouldn't be surprised if they do like a Discord integration with Nintendo, but I would want a better online experience. And the next games that are going to be coming out, like we've talked about Metroid Prime 4, which I'm pretty sure that's going to be a next level, next console game.
Yeah, absolutely. Huh? I mean, especially if they're announcing Switch 2, absolutely, it's going to be for Switch 2.
Okay, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I'm looking for. We won't really know much more until later on this year, but I mean that's incredible news. Finally, people are satisfied that they announced something.
Yeah,
but what do you think?
Just from as a bystander, like I've played Nintendo, I'm working through Witcher on Nintendo, but I'm more of a bystander to it. I'm very interested to see how the Nintendo Switch 2 sells, especially relative to the Nintendo Switch. PlayStation 2 still remains the most sold console of all. No, Switch finally beat it?
Yep.
Okay, then it's got to be PS2, right? Right. The PS2's got to be underneath it.
Oh,
right?
underneath,
probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've seen some people say, like, for the first year, the Switch 2, it's probably going to be like at a PS5 situation where, people are going to be, rushing to the shelves to get it. It's going to probably be like some issues of like stock and whatnot. People are going to be rushing to get it for the first year, but afterwards, I've seen that the projected sales long term may not reach to the point of the Switch. So like take like Switch 1 to like PS2. And then you got like the PS3 coming out, like PS4. It's like, okay, it's better graphics, better in almost every regard, but it's still not going to sell as much as the original. So I'm very curious to see if that's true. If this could possibly be a new contender for the greatest selling video game console of all time, or is it just going to fall by the wayside because it still does a lot of what the Switch does. It's very similar, just better, better, graphics and what have you. So I'm very curious to see how it does performance wise. So
it says right here, like Nintendo Switch has officially surpassed the PS2 to become the highest selling gaming console in the United States. Maybe it's only in the United States so far.
It very well could be. but it's still, at least it's a contender. At least it's fair to say it's a contender for.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see how close the Switch 2 gets to that mark. That's what I'm excited to see, to play on the Switch 2 itself, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Obviously,
but yeah, I mean that's it for the Switch 2. Let's take a quick break for right now, and then we'll be right back and kind of get to the last half of the episode.
Yeah.
All right, and we are back.
Next thing, this is something I saw and it blew my mind. I don't know about you, but Sony cancels a new God of War entry. So it's like, oh, okay, shucks. But then it was going to be a live service God of War entry. And now I'm thinking, good riddance.
Was it a new entry, or was it like a base off of Ragnarok?
Like a new entry. So it's not going to be like a DLC or nothing like that. It's going to be a new entry. But what blows my mind, and the reason why I say good riddance is, what can you possibly do that would entice me to play a live service God of War game?
Yeah. I never understood live service. So like, what is
like? Haven't we learned? So live service. So
just means that they update it as it goes.
Constantly updating, constantly patching it up. So God of War has had multiplayer before, right? We know this. God of War Ascension, right?
Yeah.
And that had a multiplayer thing that it got some patches and hotfixes, but it wasn't like constantly pushing out updates and cosmetics and new maps and stuff to that effect, right? Call of Duty. That's what I think of.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
That's Destiny, Pinnacle,
Destiny.
Live service. MMOs are by their definition a live service game. So, maybe like an arena brawler like Ascension. Okay, maybe, but I think we kind of learned our lesson from that.
Yeah.
So, live service God of War game. It's I'm like, okay, what's good riddance. And what the fuck. So apparently, according to insider sources, the reason why this was canceled before we even heard about it was because of the greatest game of all time, Concord.
Oh yeah, that game was so bad.
I don't know what you're saying, man. It's freaking amazing, Did
you get to play it for the one day that it was available?
The one day, no. Did you? Did you actually try it?
No, I did not.
Okay, but I'm like,
I saw streamers play it.
I saw it too. I told you, right? The last episode we talked about how achievement hunters and trophy hunters were flocking to Concord to mass unalive themselves to get rapid XP and to get all the trophies. And we don't, if you want to see more of that, check out the previous episode. But apparently, so that was supposed to be a live service game. That was supposed to be basically what Marvel Rivals is right now, like the next Overwatch killer. And it didn't even make it out the gate, right? Mm-hmm. So when Sony execs saw that and the response to it, people are like, okay, we're going to cancel this new untitled God of War game, and then another, I think it was supposed to be correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think it was supposed to be a military shooter live service game. Okay. So bad news is we have to wait a little bit longer to get some more God of War content. I love God of War. I still need to work through Ragnarok, but I still love God of War. Christopher Judge is an amazing voice actor and a genuinely great human being. Stargate SG1, love that shit. But live service, get out of here. Get out of here. I don't know. Well, like, what can you possibly do?
When I think of God of War, I just don't think multiplayer, man. It has to be it's just a story base, single player story base.
I was originally in the bandwagon of people who saw the God of War 2018, and I was like, oh, you're just trying to copy The Last of Us. What's this over the shoulder shit? And then it completely blew my mind.
Oh yeah, no, it was a good game. I mean, the only thing that I can see that they can expand on it, maybe make it 2-player. Because if like you're playing as Atreus and then one playing as Kratos, like on their separate journeys, that would be an.
That's cool. That's cool. Kind of do like It Takes Two, maybe a Way Out kind of co-op thing. Mm-hmm. But that wouldn't necessitate live service.
Nah.
Right?
Well, no one's ever done a live service for a single player campaign before, a campaign before.
I mean,
it's only been multiplayer.
Unless you, I don't know, like a roguelike, or I don't know.
Wouldn't that be a next level thing, right? Like, so if there was a live service campaign where instead of it just being multiplayer based, where that can be adaptable, now like single player, let's just call it single player. So in the single player game, the live service will affect the world in the campaign.
Amenable to that. My only problem is that if I have a single player experience and my internet goes out or the servers go down 10 years from now, I still want to be able to play my single player game. So I don't want to spend $60 and not get the full price tag because now the live service is down.
Fair. Or they just apply a patch that, well, it wouldn't be a patch at that point. Yeah. So I see where you're coming from. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah. Like I'm very curious to see in the years to come what leaks we'll get of what the concept was.
Well, it's kind of like Destiny, right? Destiny is a kind of campaign experience, so it's like a live service campaign experience.
Yeah, but how would you apply that to God of War though?
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking out loud here.
Unless they make it like a franchise. So here's what I was thinking. I kind of looked ahead into Valhalla. I think there were some teases into other mythologies, right?
Of course, they got the Egyptian, and there's there's a lot more.
So Ascension played around with like people being champions of other Greek gods. Okay, that's okay because you're still in the Greek mythology. But now is Sony trying to expand the God of War beyond Kratos into other religions and mythologies? Is
that's what I'm guessing. Like that would make it the most because eventually Kratos has to die. He's gonna die, and then everybody's already foreseeing that. And then Atreus is gonna be taking up the mantle,
right?
So that's what they're kind of building it up to be. But yeah,
it's kind of like, I don't know. What would you think? Would you be open? So are you down for games taking place after Kratos, but maybe featuring Atreus?
Yeah. I mean, if they because what they have to do, they have to build that relationship with you. Liking the next character that's going to be coming up, which is Atreus,
and it's a slow burn. And
I think he's doing really good, of what they built him out to be. So, but obviously, people are going to still love Kratos, and that he's just on another level,
right?
But I think if it gets to the point where people trust that new character, and then he goes into like the Egyptian world, that could be room.
Yeah, Egyptian. I know there was Egyptian. I think there was like Mesoamerica, like the Aztecs, like Inca, and all that stuff. So I guess that would be the only way it would interest me. But then at that point, is it God of War or is it World Religions, the video game,
Well, originally that's what I thought from the very beginning, even when I first played the originals, because I love Greek mythology, and I was like, man, it would be cool if they dove into like Norse mythology and also the Egyptian mythology, because I love Anubis and I love Horus and all that stuff. And I'm like, dude, like, how would he tie in? Like, what is he just gonna go and wipe out everybody's shit?
Yeah, I think I saw there was like a machinima or something a long time ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like he literally kills all the gods, and the last one is like Christian, like Jesus and stuff.
Oh my!
And
God.
He's the only one he spares. He's like, "You're cool. You're cool." So I don't know. You know what? Okay, I was at it sucks, but now you kind of walked it back. I don't know. I'll leave it to, let's leave it to the viewers. If you want to comment, comment, let us know. Tell us what you think. Is it something you would at least be amenable to hearing more of, or is it just ridiculous?
Yeah.
Good riddance.
Like, just end it already.
Or is it objectively a great idea? Just shut up, guys. Let it happen. You know, I don't know. Just let us know. We want to hear your thoughts.
For sure.
All right. So this is the big one. I think this is the big thing. PS5. Halo on PS5.
I heard that. When I heard it, I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
As a PlayStation 5 player who's recently got into owning an Xbox, I don't know how I feel about that.
Halo is trash now, okay? Let's just put it this way. I was very upset when Halo Infinite came out
because just fucking went there. All right.
Yeah. But ever since Bungie left, it just hasn't been the same. Like since Halo 3. I think that's when the last one they made, right?
ODST, no?
Or that one of them, I'm up there, but yeah. So I was, it just ever since Halo's always been one of my favorite.
You've been there since basically the beginning,
dude.
Right?
Yeah, since Blood Gulch, since fucking Blood Gulch.
Give me your thoughts, and I'll tell you as a PS5 guy. Go ahead. What does this mean for you? Like Xbox has always been Microsoft. It's home to Xbox, and now it looks like Xbox is going to give it away.
Well, this is okay. So from the Phil Spencer, right? And this is the main guy from the at Microsoft that is basically like not the CEO. Is he a CEO? I can't remember. But he's
important. It's such that
he's that important
guy.
Name. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember his actual title, but he mentioned that he would want to expand like the stuff that's available.
Yeah.
on the Xbox across all the other consoles.
I think he said there's no such thing as a red line here at Microsoft, right? I think that's his exact words. There's no such thing as a red line.
See, I appreciate that, and I
that's cool.
I appreciate not being so like if everybody had in their let's just say Crash Bandicoot, right? Like at the beginning, it was only a PlayStation thing.
Yes.
Now you can play it on Switch. You can play it on, I think it's on Xbox now.
Yeah.
And so they've kind of let the character run loose.
But when did they do that though? Back in like the PS2-ish era,
PS4.
Right? PS4. Oh, dang. Okay.
No. Did they come out with Well, they probably did a little bit.
Go ahead. Sorry. This is your moment. Go ahead.
My moment. No, I'm just trying to think from the perspective because, like, what if there are no now console tied franchises that represent the console itself, and if it's all across the board, I see it from one side where yes, now we're a community. We're gathering together. There is no bias or there is no non-shareable characters.
Yeah, the separation is becoming less separated.
Yeah, we are not a divisive gaming community. We are now becoming a one community.
Which is good in a sense.
But from a business perspective, how is that going to hurt? Because then one makes everything unique.
It's competition. Healthy capitalism, business, growth requires competition. And competition requires uniqueness in something that the competition doesn't have. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if Gears of War ended up becoming a PS5 game, big example right there. And then also the Halo one that we're talking about. But like Gears of War is another one of my favorite games and came on PS5, then sure, they make their money. Developers and other developers will have jobs now. Because the way I remembered was you have a Xbox team, you have a PS5 team, that actually specifically make the games for the console they're releasing on. And so
but then why would I buy an Xbox?
Exactly.
If I could just play it on the PS5 along with the PS5 exclusives that have yet to be shared with the Xbox.
Right.
PS5 is where the exclusives are at.
Mm-hmm.
That's that.
So now it begs the question. I think consoles at sometime in the future, consoles are going to be dead and everything is going to be cloud-based.
Xbox is already see to that.
Or they're gonna make it very vendor neutral where they're going to make their gaming PCs basically. So
it kind of begs the question.
That's what these are. They're all just gaming PCs now.
Yeah.
Like basically.
Yeah. I know Xbox several years ago, they made an active push towards removing consoles and they want their stuff to be playable on cloud through the TV.
Yeah, dude, like on my TV right now, like they have apps where you can go into like NVIDIA GeForce Now.
Yes.
And like literally boot up any game.
No, but there's literally an Xbox app on that same TV where you could do that. And so it kind of begs the question, where's the benefit? Where's the why in doing this?
Yeah, it's just a loyal fan base, honestly. Because like I used to be a loyal Xbox fan because that's where achievements were. That's where my profiles were always built off.
Right.
And then I used to hate PS4 because I didn't like the interface.
Yeah.
And also PS3. But then PS5 came out. They really refined their UI, and now I'm loving all the trophies on there.
Growing up, especially I was there during the PS2. PS2, I have my most fond memories. But when PS3 and Xbox came out, everyone. At least where I grew up, Xbox was the gamer's console. PlayStation was like if you have that one like Metal Gear Solid or something more refined, But if you were a gamer, a hardcore gamer, you like playing, you like talking shit, eating Mountain Dews and Doritos, you played on Xbox, right? And now it's like what's going on here? Like
yeah. So let's take it back to the whole Halo experience, right? Like I love Halo. I will play it no matter what, but I if they were to really go back to their roots.
Yeah.
Right now I don't like where Halo's at. I tried playing multiplayer on the Infinite game and I just did not like it.
You couldn't, yeah.
Yeah, because they started adding all these microtransactions in there, and I'm like, oh my god, okay.
There's your live service right there, yeah.
Yep, and then a lot of the community didn't really like the game either. But yeah, Bungie really solidified like their the way they built the game,
right?
And because there's just a certain way that you can't emulate Halo on something else, and seems like they've lost a little bit of those foundations.
Yeah. As a PS5 player, I'm of two minds. I'm excited. I have Steam and I have Xbox. I could play the Master Chief Collection right now without any problems, without spending a single dollar more. But you know me, if I'm playing a game, it's more than likely on PS5. So it's going to be kind of cool to like pull up my user interface and have the Master Chief Collection there ready, press X. Okay, now I'm playing the Master Chief Collection. That's kind of cool. But it also, as a bystander to time, I'm thinking, so what was all this divide for? Like what, and where is the why in this? What's going on here? It just really blows my mind, frankly. And Nate the Hate, who leaked correctly the date that Nintendo would be announcing the Switch 2, he said that in the same year, in the same like leak, he said there will be a formal announcement that Halo will be coming to the PS5, and also the company. Oh, let me backtrack that. Gears of War Ultimate Edition will be coming to the PS5. So I know you were talking about what happens if Gears of War happens.
Yeah,
it's knocking on your door, dude. And then that these companies that make these games, they have PS5 dev kits right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so these games that are coming out that are being actively developed as we speak are being done with the PS5 in mind.
I don't know, man. That's gonna be I don't know how I'd feel playing Gears of War. I wouldn't be able to. I don't think I would be able to do it. Play PA on the PS5.
Yeah.
I need an Xbox controller. I grew up with that, and maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just because I played it on Xbox for so long.
Memory is a funny thing, because when I think Halo and I think Gears of War, playing it, I can feel the Xbox controller.
Before the DualSense Edge came out, the Xbox controller was still my favorite controller of all time.
Yeah.
And then the PS5 Edge came out, and then that one just made everything much better.
Yeah.
And I love what they did with it. So now that's my new favorite controller. But
it's just going to be weird. It's weird.
It's a weird thing, right?
It's weird. It's a thing where nostalgia comes in and it tells you no, but also it's good to introduce it to a new generation and a new audience of players.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also the nostalgia thing where it's like, what happened. So, but I mean, in the end, we do want more people. We do want crossplay, and that's the thing too. I think PS5 has made it a stipulation in all their multiplayer games as of late. There has to be a console only option. So Halo, theoretically, there could be a day where you put on Halo Master Chief Collection, you go into the multiplayer, and then you say toggle off crossplay. So I only want to play with PS5 players.
Yeah.
So zero connection to Xbox players. It is no longer officially an Xbox game. That's crazy. And also Flight Simulator in case that's something you're in case that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. But
that game is really good.
It's pretty fun. I like the Dune.
I've been the Corpus on that game.
Oh, you have?
Yes, I played it on whenever I had the Series X. This is a little tangent, but on Series X, whenever they had the Flight Simulator on there, I heard that it was like a perfect example of where you can go anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So I took a plane, took off, and I came here to Corpus. And I'm like, oh my God.
This is real. That's my house.
This here. I'm going to crash into this.
No. Oh, no. Sorry. Kind of burped there. Sorry. No, that's great. It wasn't there. I know there's a Dune expansion, which I want to give it another crack at. I tried it in the Game Pass, but isn't there also a Top Gun? Wasn't there also like a Top Gun?
Yeah, I think there was a Top Gun.
I want to try that. The Dark Star, it's like the Blackbird Mark II or whatever. I really want to try that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. So maybe when we start actually playing it, we'll feel a little bit different. But as of right now, I'm on the fence with it.
So here's the thing. It blows my mind. So it sounds like, according to Nate the Hate and other leakers, that the first wave of former Microsoft exclusives are going to come out later this year. So that kind of begs the question, why the hell are we getting Halo on PlayStation before Bloodborne Remastered? Okay. Like that, it blows my mind, but also the reason now we're getting more insight into the political machinations between Sony and Miyazaki, Hidetaka Miyazaki, as to why we've not gotten Bloodborne yet. It just blows my mind.
That is kind of an interesting one. Why, like, they've done a port of almost every other game, but not Bloodborne.
Why? Yeah. So recent lists have put like
well, hold up. Let's
he's cooking. Let him cook.
The trailer that they just announced. Which one was it? Was it during the?
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah,
you know which
it's
one
like the new. Yeah. It's like expectation or something, and it ends with
Bloodborne
with a hunter like charging up.
So maybe they are finally going to either come out with another Bloodborne, or they're going to actually come out with a port for Bloodborne.
Potentially.
Because why would they throw it in there? The graphics look different.
Right.
So they're cooking something.
They're cooking, but why did it take so long? And then the fact that we're getting these Halo like kind of quasi announcements, these leaks before Bloodborne. Because here's the thing, we've been pretty good about like Elden Ring, Night Rain. We kind of knew something was cooking.
Yeah.
So far, we've not heard anything other than that little teaser.
Unless there was like a joint effort between two different studios. I can't remember if Bloodborne was a single studio with just from Software, or was it a collaborative effort?
I think Havoc may have had. I need to double check. I don't quote me on that. But point is that people have been clamoring for Bloodborne. It's a great story. It's a great world. It's unique. It's scary gothic. It does have a number of technical issues which fans do want to see addressed in a port, like frame rate issues. I think it's capped at 30 FPS. And it will frequently dip below that. And then there's also the question of like some cut content and like rebalancing some stuff. So there's definitely a big invitation from the community to do a port. And Miyazaki and Sony, one of them or both of them is basically saying no. So recently, former director of head of indies for Sony, Shuhei Yoshida. I want to get the name correct just so you can do your research. Shuhei Yoshida basically said that he qualified it as a personal theory, but he said he basically put the entire blame on Miyazaki, saying that he feels like he doesn't have the time to do it and that he'd rather devote his time and attention to other games. But hold up. Everyone and their mother has been blaming Sony for the last couple of years. Like, Sony, you're the one who owns the IP, not even FromSoft. You own it. Why not just do a remaster? Right?
Well, Sony doesn't own it.
They own the IP. For Bloodborne, they own the IP. Not Elden Ring and not Dark Souls or Demon Souls.
So because From Software is actually a sub company of this other company,
right?
But Sony has been trying to talk into buying the actual parent company.
Correct. But at Bloodborne, they actually own the IP.
Maybe that was why.
So they could of their own volition do it.
I don't know.
But what this basically tells us is that there could be several explanations. One, maybe they don't have all the rights. Two, maybe they don't want to move forward without the blessing of Miyazaki because then it looks unprofessional.
Probably, he's very meticulous. So I wouldn't assume.
Right. So they probably want him on board. And three, it's the question of technicalities and maybe additional content or missing content. I feel like that's something where you need the father, the brain, to be involved in the process. In this case, you got this guy ahead of Sony, head of indie, saying it's Miyazaki. He's the reason why we haven't done something yet. That kind of blows my mind.
Damn.
And we worship, like we put in this podcast, we put Miyazaki on a freaking pedestal, right? So me, it's like, no, my idol, what are you doing to him?
Yeah.
So my first instinct is bullshit, but it's also, could it be?
I mean, wouldn't shock me actually, because there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the curtain that we don't see.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. And I guess to put it in a more positive context, we know he's not behind Night Rain, at least not directly. There's another director behind Elden Ring, Night Rain. So what that tells me is that he's probably moved on. Indeed, he's probably moved on to the next big thing.
Yeah, next big IP.
The next big IP. So that's why he's like, I could spend more time on Bloodborne, or I can grow up and like move on,
Yeah.
But also it's like literally everyone and their mother who's played a Soulsborne wants you to redo Bloodborne.
Yeah.
So why not do that?
They should, man. I mean, it was a really good game, like you said.
It was very good. It was a lot of the world building in that freaking game is amazing.
Yeah.
By the Blood and by the Blood Undone is like, I don't know what that means, but I fucking love it. I love it.
Yeah. So I guess we'll have to just wait and see, like whenever what they end up coming up with that trailer, especially.
Yeah. It really does depict the question with that trailer. Like, what were you just teasing us, or do you actually have something cooking? And Miyazaki, is he now on board, or are you just kind of moving on without Miyazaki? The audacity. But anyway, but it does, just circling back to the whole, like the reason why you probably clicked on here. It's funny that we're hearing a lot more, the the tires moving, the wheels turning on Halo before Bloodborne. It's crazy,
Yeah.
The identities of these two, Sony and Microsoft is like, what's going on here? But that's pretty much it from all the latest news. Pretty big stuff here.
Yeah.
Monumental. Anything you care to add or any thoughts?
No, I mean, I think we've touched on a lot of the stuff that's happened in the past couple of weeks. So, we are looking to provide more as we go forward. I mean, especially with the Switch 2 coming around, we're going to start seeing more speculations, especially before the actual trailer or the next announcement. So we're curious to see. Those leakers are definitely hunting right now. They're like, oh, we got
and
some
they're
stuff.
accurate. That's the scary part. They're accurate.
Well, yeah. Some of them are.
So yeah, if you like this, this was a bit more informational. Obviously, we gave our thoughts on what's been going on. So if you have any thoughts, or if you like to see more of this, or if you have your own take, please use the comment section. It helps us. It helps us get out there. Likes, subscribing, comments, it all helps. So
yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, because it really does help the channel, and that's how we get our episodes in front of other eyes, and because YouTube algorithm and also Spotify algorithm and whatnot. Helps. Our Spotify could probably use a little bit more love, because we mainly advertise on the YouTube. But if y'all are just looking for audio podcasts while you're like working or you're working out, doing whatever, and you can find us on there, or even Apple Podcasts and Amazon Music as well.
It takes less than 30 seconds, and it's harmless, and it helps us help you get more of this content.
Yeah, we can't become the best gaming podcast without y'all's help. So
yeah. So with that, I think we'll close out. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching or listening, if you're watching on Spotify or many other podcast platforms.
We will see y'all next time.
Take care.
Bye.